Sorry about that. The video stopped, but this is the white. It's got a layer of oil which gives it, creates more of the cells. I'm going to give that a good mix in the container. That oil is what creates a little bit of the reaction to the paints and the cells. Here we go. So this is the white that I'm using in my pour. That is the satin enamel Deco Art. It's very easy to get hold of now, because there was a shortage of it a while back. I'm going to put a dollop of this in my white bottle, my white cup. A little bit more. And I'm working on a 48 by 60. That's 4 feet by 5 feet canvas. It's huge. I've never worked on such a big canvas. It's almost as tall as me because I'm 5'5". So this, I'm 65 inches and this painting is 60 inches. So it's going to be quite amazing. I had to prepare that outside of my art room, my work room here, because it just doesn't fit. Now I'm going to make some of the black. The black is going to be a more of a swipe or contrast. So to the black I'm going to add a small amount of cell activator. Still need to put some of the other material in. Just a little bit of this. I use very little paint and a lot of Floetrol in this. In fact, I can fill this cup up with Floetrol. This is going to be my black. That's going to create a contrast and also create cells. I'm going to drop in a little bit of cell activator. I'm not sure if this is an oil-based activator, but it works really, really well. And I only put it in one color. Just a couple of drops going there. It's good. And I'm going to be using the Arteza black for this for my swipe today. I've never really used it before, but it does look really good, and I've heard all good things about it. Try to get this thing open. It's very hard to get all of the paint out of these things, but it's a very good quality paint. And that's going to be my black. That should create some of the cells. By the cells, I mean like this. I don't know if you can see it here, but kind of the bubbles. Alright, that should be a good swiping consistency. I don't use a hairbrush much, a hairdryer much anymore. I don't really like the way that it thins out the paint and moves it around. There are some paintings that I like to use the hairdryer with. Kind of if I'm doing a smaller painting with kind of just some areas are going to have paint on it and you need the hairdryer to move it around. But with that, use much thinner acrylic paint. This is obviously much thicker paint that I'm using. There you go, it's a nice black. And I'm going to put this in some of the cups, on some of the things, maybe some of the swiping on the painting to give it that little edge of lacing. There you go, there we go. So we are almost ready. I do need to thin out my base paint because it's too thick. So what I'm going to do, I really need 128 ounces in total to cover this size canvas. So I'm going to use maybe actually, you know what, I'm going to use this bucket. I'm going to decant some of the thick white paint and I'm going to thin it out. A lot of the bubbles have come to the top. This is enough base paint for a lot of paintings. And I do a lot of white background, a lot of negative white painting, so having a lot of this paint mixed at once is good. This bucket has house paint, acrylic paint, latex paint, some Artist Loft flow paint. I mix my paints. I guess I go a little bit against the grain when they say that. So I'm going to pour some of this in here. Half of this. As I said, I'm going to have to add water to thin this out, and a little bit of the GAC. I didn't add the GAC to this yet. GAC in there. Let's close this up and get it out of the way. Right, now because my base paint needs to be thinner than the paints that it's going on, that is because you don't want the base paint to swallow up your colors that you're putting in there. Get this another nice, it's a little thick. Get some water in here. nice thin consistency. And I'm going to do a test. While we do the mix, I'm going to show you, I'm going to do a test to see how these paints are all working out. At the consistency that they are, before I add more water to all of these beautiful colors, I'm going to do a test on a canvas board, and I'll show you how that's going to work. I always like to test it a little bit before I go on a 48 by 60 painting. Gold, we've got our black, the cell activated, we've got our light blue, and we've got the dark blue, which is obviously my favorite color. Alright, so let's do a test run on this. This is still a little bit thick. Get this a little bit thinner from our base coat. And I'm going to grab a small cup to do a little open cup test. Don't even have one. Let's use a, hold on 1 second, let's get it up. Use this as an open cup. I'm just going to cover at the bottom. It gives me my open cup. I'm going to put some of this paint on this canvas. I have not put a base coat on the canvas. I just want to see how the paints are working. So I'm just going to do a pool of paint. I'm not even going to bother with the air bubbles. You take my cup, put it right in the middle, put a little bit of extra paint around it, and let's see how we go. Let's drop a little bit of gold. A little bit of the turquoisey blue. Put a little bit of white. And we're going to go to the darker blue. I feel like I'm going to be short of this darker blue. I'm going to make some extra paint for this. And I'm going to throw a little bit of this black in just to test the cell activate and see how that works. And I can tell from this if I have the right consistency, if I need to add more water. Blah, black. All right, that should start pushing it out into the cup. Let's see what we have here. Swirl this around. Oh, it's gorgeous. Wow. All right, so there you have it. Look at that. Cells are already forming. The consistency of the paint is perfect. I'm going to use them exactly as they are, except I'm going to add some more blue, put less of the black. I'm going to actually bring this up close for you so you can see how the cells are beginning to form. See how that's running over the canvas board nicely. All right, I will be back with the real thing.